Eagles. This Lindy's Magazine's picking the Eagles to finish first in their division, okay? All right, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. By the way, they've got one of their biggest off-season acquisition was the trade they made with the signing here of Jonathan Greenland after losing Jalen Phillips a free agency. They acquired from the Vikings Greenland, who was slow by shoulder surgery last year, but had 12-plus sacks in 23 and 24. They've also added Hollywood Brown, Marcus Hollywood Brown at wide receiver. And, of course, the big move is the A.J. Brown trade over this summer, okay? But they drafted Malachi Lemon out of USC. I thought that and I said this back in April, I want to reiterate this. I actually thought that he was going to go much sooner. Remember, they made the trade with the Cowboys, an in-division team. Usually that don't happen, but they did make that trade. And they got Malachi Lemon to pair him with Devontae Smith, with Dallas Goedert, with the second-round pick, Eli Sowers, out of Vanderbilt. Tall, lanky, athletic tight end. I could see them using their tight ends more, using Sowers there. So I love what they did in the offseason. Still got a very good defense there. My only concern about the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's a big one, folks, I do think they'll be better without A.J. Brown. Jalen Hurts, by the way, he said there's no entitlement issues on this team. I'm paraphrasing. He said that the other day. That's a straight shot at A.J. Brown. Got him out of the door here. Okay. Lane Johnson, the right tackle. He missed 8 games last year. This guy's, 36, 37 years old. Missed 8 games last year. They were 3-5 when he was not playing there. Do not like their depth there at that particular position. Okay, we're going to have to see how that plays out this season. If they can overcome that, get back to running the football, quicker releases out of remember, they've got this also very young offensive coordinator coming out of Green Bay. We'll see how that works out as well. It's also another coordinator here for Jalen Hurts. Okay, so he is getting some criticism here, and this magazine wrote this up about Jalen Hurts here, and it's a pretty good little write-up here. So I can't go all praise. I got to give you a little bit of the criticisms. They said there's a lot of blame to go around for their disappointing season. Hurts seemed to get off the lion's share of it, which usually goes in the way of the quarterbacks. Hurts was the subject of a critical ESPN.com piece that blamed him for many of the offensive problems. The story said he pushed back on changes that would diversify the scheme, including lining up under center because he's not very tall. And I've said that before. Claimed he was reluctant to let it rip at times, particularly against zone coverage and play calls to an excessive degree. Hurts will be playing for his 5th offensive coordinator in 5 seasons this year. His contract doesn't expire until 2028 season, but this is the last year of guaranteed money. They could move off him. Now, that being said, folks, about Jalen Hurts, I think he won't feel obligated to throw the ball to A.J. Brown. When Matt Stafford lost Calvin Johnson, his stats got better. Not saying Calvin Johnson, the great Calvin, was a diva demanding the ball, but he's such a big-time receiver, you feel obligated to give him the ball, whether he's double covered or not, somebody else is open. So I do think, excuse me, on that perspective, he's going to be better. On the other hand, again, with the Lane Johnson stuff. So I'm projecting Lane Johnson's going to miss. He is going to miss some time here. And I do think the Eagles will hurt they will hurt because of this. But I love their draft. I love their off season. I like this third round pick, this tackle, Markel Bell. Maybe they could find a way to put him in to fill in. He's a rookie out of Miami, third round pick. Their first 3 picks are bam, 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 bam. Possibly if they can find a way to put him in at right tackle if and when Lane Johnson gets hurt this season and they don't have a collapse like that offensively, okay? So, 10 offensive players coming back from last year, 9 on defense. They're a pretty stacked team. But the Lane Johnson thing is a big deal. So, I've got them going 10-7. 10-7, I'm projecting that.